forget that. We're back, boys and girls. Welcome to MCFC 9320 PUBcast. We are back. Two of us are revitalized. Out with Patrick.
We sure are.
Yeah. I'm only going to go into something once, and then I feel I have to sort of like blank any comments. So if anybody's watching this on loop or anything like that, you'll have to go back to the comments. Right. New panel, me and Paddy. We've got many things what we've got in mind to do the show. Reason why there's no Anne-Marie or Stan. As everybody knows, I quit the show for personal reasons. However, I did hand the baton over to Paddy, Anne-Marie, and Stan for them to carry on. And there was only Paddy who wanted to, or any communication from Paddy. So, unfortunately, I've had to take the decision for me and Paddy to take the channel forward. As sad as it is, so is life, blah, blah, blah. But we've got many things, what we've got in the pipeline, haven't we, mate?
Exactly. Few nice surprises coming.
Yep, absolutely. Paddy knows in the new year the kind of things what we're going to do. We're going to be doing giveaways and everything every week. And speaking of giveaways, tonight, I actually made this before, Paddy, didn't I? When we was having a chat. So tonight I'm going to give away one of these just as a little tester. If anybody wants to win an MCFC 9320 PUBcast. I don't think that picture actually does it justice compared to what it is, does it, Paddy? If anyone wants to win one of them, then we are going to have a keyword tonight. And what should we have as the keyword, Paddy? Brand new.
That's 2 words.
All right, then. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, let's go for awesome. So right, yeah, let's go through some of the comments. In fact, I've just noticed that Simo Sups and Adam have been members of this channel, Silly Sausages, for 12 months, mate. So I will give them one of them as well as one of them bottle openers for the loyalty, what they've shown to this show. So yes, we are back, boys and girls. Should we get into it? What should we get into first? Should we touch upon the Real Madrid match, mate?
Yeah.
I just think it was I thought we did a proper job on them, considering it went to 1-0, and then we just more or less had them in our pocket, didn't we?
We did. We seem to be just clicking. There seems to be partnerships forming on the pitch, and you can see it now. I think Nico O'Reilly brings out the best of Doku. Doku brings out the best of Nico O'Reilly. The other side of the pitch, then, Nunes and Silva. But I think Nunes is being held back by Pep for the counter attack because if the two of them are overlapping. Because if you notice, they don't overlap together. It's always kind of like O'Reilly overlapping Doku and Nunes will sit back, or Nunes is overlapping Silva and O'Reilly will sit back. So the two of them are never committed forward, unless the team are on a low block and sitting trying to catch us on the transition. But there's beautiful partnerships forming, and you can actually see it. And the thing that I like most, it's a very young team, Andy. It's a very young team, and these lads are only, like, if you ask me, we're ahead of schedule, well ahead of schedule.
Yes, we are, mate. We're playing different as well, aren't we? We're not playing. It's almost like Pep's had a little bit of a mess around last season, you know, and I think some of the players have come out as well and openly admitted that. I think it was Bernardo. There's Bernardo interview this week, and by the way, and Paddy will tell you this, because we knew we was going to be doing the show from this week. I've actually brushed up on City a little bit because I've not seen anything City related since the Liverpool match. So I've had to do a bit of research to get back on the horse, as it were. So it does seem like we're playing a little bit different, mate. Arsenal are not going to go away. And I know we're talking about City, Real Madrid, but the mentality, what they've got, you know, last night to come back. What did you really fancy us today, by the way? In fact, we'll get into today's match in a bit. So what I noticed against Real Madrid is we've not won there for a long, long time. But for us to do it in that manner as well, and people and the media and stuff like that, mate. We know what the media are like. The media was like, it's, Real Madrid are going through a tough time and stuff like that. The Bernabeu's not an easy place to go, regardless of that. And I thought, and again, full praise to Mateus Nunes. I thought he had another cracker. Cherki had another great game. Haaland did. That was pressure from Haaland. I thought Foden played well. Cherki, you can go all the way around the team. I thought it was we're not playing open, expansive football like we used to. But what I will say is we're playing more controlled football.
Well, that was very evident. We're willing, which we were never used to do, we're willing to concede possession and almost sit in a low block ourselves and do the counter-attacking rather than this chaotic, wide-open approach, playing against teams, ball over the top. Even though that's still a bit of a weakness for us, that ball over the top, it seems to cause us trouble. But we're a bit more solid, and I don't think that's by accident. I think that's because the back five, the keeper, and the back four haven't changed, and I don't think that's. I think for me that's why we're not a little bit tighter. I think that the Fulham game where they come back 5-4, our midfield wasn't really giving the defence any kind of shield in front of them. That was very evident against Real Madrid. They were closing down. There was a layer of protection before you got to the defence. But I know you say Pep's had a little bit of a reshuffle, but I think it's your man Colo Torre and Pep Linders. You can see their influence in that team. Like Colo Torre is a defender, and he works quite closely with defenders. You can see it.
You can, mate. And also, I think James French, who we got from Liverpool, the set piece coach and stuff like that. I think we looked better defensively, from set pieces now, as well as offensively. And it went up until a few weeks ago, we'd not even scored, from a set piece, but we look stronger. Now we're starting to score from set pieces and stuff like that now, which I think is key. And I think the last time I actually did a show, we actually mentioned, I think it was me who mentioned it, that we needed to get more goals from other departments. And now, all of a sudden, you got Foden, who's looking. I don't think Foden was as good as what people say today, by the way, but we'll get into that in a bit. But Foden generally is bang on it. I think his partnership with Cherki is really, really developing. We just look so different. We've got a bit of bite to us now, and I don't think Real Madrid like that. I think we saw some of the play acts in there, like Haaland absolutely buzzing, with Rudiger, and for the penalty, and it was I forget the other lad now, the Real Madrid play where he just pushes him over. It's almost like we was the daddies, and we was playing against the kids there, and that bodes well that after a disappointing match against who was it? Whoever lost 2-0. Oh God, my mind's gone. In the Champions League. Anyway, whoever it was, I think that it's night and day. That's the one, yeah, Bayern Leverkusen. I think it's night and day where we are now. So we're coming into almost like the business end, aren't we? We're almost over Christmas, and that's when City generally click in. Although we are not the City what normally goes on. I still don't think we're the City who goes on these 15, 16, 17 match unbeaten runs or anything. But I don't think any other team is as well. So I think and Villa are doing well as well in the league, so I think it's who's going to blink first, who's going to take advantage in the Premier League.
Well, I definitely think there's more points to be dropped by us and Arsenal. I don't think anyone's going to run away with it. What pleases me is we seem to be getting better most games. What we learned from the previous game, we seem to be implementing in the next game and closing that loophole off. like as you say, the expense of football is gone. It's more controlled and stuff like that. Even the comments by Pep today and Foden today just proves that that needs to be slowed down, really slowed down.
Just let's touch upon what DC says there, and I absolutely agree. Can City fans stop the Foden and Cherky can't play together narrative? And it wasn't just with City fans, was it, DC? It was within the media. Or they'll never play together. But again, that when Foden scored from Cherky's Rabona, the look on Foden's face, it looks like they're building a really close, not only playing relationship, but a good friendship as well. Off the pitch, because by all accounts, they're always out together and stuff like that. Doing stuff, and it's a load of rubbish because good players can play together. We had it years ago for England, didn't we? Lampard and Gerrard can't play together. If you've got good players, and intelligent players, they can play together. They won't get in each other's space, and we're seeing that at the moment. And we're quietly going about it. But again, even against Madrid, mate, I thought Mateus Nunes, as he was today, was brilliant. The way he controlled Vinny Jr., not only on there, he shot across over to left back to help out, more or less centre back, his turn of pace. And this channel has always supported Mateus Nunes, me in particular. And I think we're seeing the rewards now of a bit of patience with him, because even the fans are singing his name now.
Well, he's got a run of games now, and he's made that position his own. I don't think that the club are in any rush now to sign a right back because of him. Equally, I don't think they're in any rush to sign another left back because they have Nico Riley and Aidan Nuri, who can't get into the team. I know he came in on today, but
and Aki can do it there as well, mate.
And yeah, but I don't think Aki. I think this is Aki's last season, to be honest with you.
I won't disagree with that. But what worries me with the Aki situation, luckily, I think it'd have been a different predicament if Ain't Nori goes. I think he goes away to the African Cup of Nations now with
Mamouche.
Yeah, with Mamouche. Yeah. I kept my little hidden gem, mate. I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I keep my hidden gem. So yeah, I think because of the way Nico O'Reilly is playing at left back, I think not only is he guaranteed and nailed on for City, I think he is for England as well. The way he's going about it.
Like that lad's life in the last 12, 18 months has skyrocketed. From signing a new contract to City, he's probably on big dough. You don't read about him in the papers. He's a low profile on the outside world as such. You'll never see him in the back. You'll see him in the back pages for the right reasons, but you'll never see him in the front pages. Like he seems to be a good family unit there, a supportive mum and stuff like that. He's definitely going. He's definitely.
I know he's got his feet on his ground because I know some of his family, so I know his feet are firmly on the ground. He will not go like some of the brats what you see, and he's very much in the mold of a Phil Foden as well. Where he's got his chance now, and it's like he knows what it's like to play for us with being a City fan as well. And I think it's going to be. It's full systems go for him. By the way, if anybody wants to join us on the show tonight, come on for a chat. The link should be pinned at the top of the chat. You're more, and we're going to be doing stuff like that. We've spoke about it, haven't we, Paddy? We want to start getting a few people on it, whether they want to come on for 5 minutes. They don't have to have the camera on if they don't want. If you want to just come on and have a chat, by all means, press the link and I'll get you on, because I want it to be about everybody, not just. And again, it's not just going to be two of us. We know the plans and what we've got. We've already got confirmed for the new year, don't we, mate? So yeah, but we want you guys to come and we appreciate you in the chat, but get on and we'll have a good natter. So yeah, with Nico, mate. But and again, I don't want today's match to take away. But what I thought today, I know Foden got man of the match. You know, it was a great goal. He had that killer instinct today, but I don't think he particularly played brilliantly, nor did Nico Gonzalez. However, Nico Gonzalez and Foden have been recently, by all accounts, and again, I've done a bit of digging. I've watched quite a bit of stuff because they've been brilliant, mate. And I've been really pleased with Nico Gonzalez in particular, because we know what Foden's all about. We know Foden can perform at that level all the time. But the way Nico Gonzalez is there, it looks a bit leggy today in his performance. However, we've got to give him credit for what he's actually done over recent weeks.
Absolutely. And that's a very specialised role in our team, that role he's playing. It's a very loner role, because he doesn't have much support. Like, it's okay because we're kind of spoiled. Rodri was as good as two players, hence why he got the Ballon d'Or, and he makes it look easy, and he's always available to pass. But if you watch Nico Gonzalez recently, he's starting to find that space. The ball is always on to him, to be released to him. As regards Foden today, Pep says he didn't play very well. Foden gave an interview after the match and confirmed Pep's findings. He didn't play very well. He gave the ball away a lot in the first half, and he gave the ball away a lot on the second half. But as Pep says to him, he was trying to force the play. He needs to slow down, learn when to slow down and accelerate, when to release the ball, when not to release the ball. It was a bit forced, but he definitely... I know he got man in the match because he scored, but then again, Sir Haaland scored twice. But for me, it was either Cherki or Nunes for man in the match. Because
No, I totally agree, mate. I'm trying to multitask. Us men can't do that, can we?
No. But do you know the best about it, Andy, is we're going about it quietly. We're not attracting much attention. Nobody's really giving us much of a chance of actually competing and winning that Premier League. Like, as far as the rag media and the red tops are concerned, it's Arsenal's league this year. It might look a bit... if we keep doing what we're doing and improving every match, controlling games the way we're controlling, because that was a hell of the... Like, we dismantled Sunderland, and they were playing out of their skin. We dismantled them.
Slumberland, do they make beds?
Yeah. And then the goal then, and I know it's if, buts, and maybes. I know Crystal Palace should have scored or whatever. But they go to Crystal Palace, where it's absolutely rocking, keep that crowd quiet, go about their business quietly and effectively, and come away with a 3-0.
Paddy, I thought Palace were very good today, mate.
Oh, they were?
I thought it was very, very good today, and considering our recent history, you know, they won at the Etihad. Obviously, they beat us in the FA Cup final. So I thought they could have developed into a bit of a bogey team. You know, like years ago we used to have against Middlesbrough. In fact, we used to have bogey teams against every team, didn't we, years ago? But with what we did, and I was smiling when you was on about Rodri and stuff like that. We're now in a position where we're winning games, because it was the old adage, wasn't it? Oh yeah, we can't win when Rodri's not playing. You know, Rodri has to play. Don't get me wrong, Rodri is an unbelievable player, but we're not over reliant on Rodri anymore. You know, it's a good job, really, isn't it? Because it shows we've found a way of that grit as well. Because I've noticed Bernardo.
The narrative changes every week when we disprove the kind of the current narrative that they propose. Empty seats, no fans, no history. Haaland doesn't touch the ball. Like it this goes on and on. We're over reliant on Haaland. Now other people are scoring. That narrative's gone. Net spend used to be that all the Liverpool fans net spend, or you just spending too much money. Now we're actually making money every window. That narrative is gone. Like every narrative that they present seems to get knocked down, or the most recent one, or you can't win without Rodri. Now Rodri doesn't get mentioned.
And that's what I'm saying. That's you. Anne-Marie, I'm not going into it. Paddy, I'm not going into an online argument, but you was asked in our group and you went, it's a no from me. So let's have a bit of reality, eh? But glad you're watching. But that's it, Paddy. You know, the narrative was that, you know, we can't win with Rodri, we can't do this, we can't do that. And it shows that, like I say, Bernardo's chipping in there now, you know, dropping back, because he's not got the legs to start going, you know, out we know Bernardo has. But what I will say is he's still contributing now by dropping back into that little hole and letting Cherky and Foden do their thing. Because don't forget, and we lost KDB as well. I know he was sort of like coming towards the end of his legs, if you like, but it was a case of what we're going to do now. Now there's no KDB. We're finding different ways now, and I actually think as well we missed Doku today as well. You know, especially pinning them back a little bit. You know, and I've been critical of Doku, as everybody knows, for a while, but I'm not blasé enough to just hate him for. I wouldn't hate him anyway because he's a City player, but I'm not single-minded, you know, where I'll just carry on not liking a play for the sake of it. I at least I do give credit to, you know, the players if they're playing well, and you know, I know we can analyse them when they're not playing well.
But that's the thing, Nick. We did won today 3-0 at a very difficult away ground without Doku or without Rodri. If you think, like, I know Doku's not serious and he'll be back shortly. But if you think after Christmas, Rodri's going to be back for the title running if we're still in it after Christmas. That has to, like, and Arsenal have proved year upon year upon year, any bit of pressure applied, and they seem to buckle under it for some reason.
Yeah, Bran, as Adam and Sups, message me your details where you want one of them sending, and I will send you one out, my friend. Thanks for being amongst the lunacy for 25 months. But it is, Paddy. It's so. We're playing different, but now we're even getting credit off the likes of that buffoon Goldbridge, where he's saying he actually likes watching City now. You know, because you don't know what you're going to get with us. And yeah, we can look at the 5-4 Fulham and stuff like that. We really took our foot off the gas there from what I saw, and we've recovered from that. You know, since then we've played Real Madrid. I thought today was a cracking result. So all of a sudden, things are starting to look rosy in the garden.
Well, the Sunderland match, the Real Madrid match, and the Crystal Palace match. If you had said to me, that's 3 guaranteed wins, I'd have questioned that. Like I'd have taken a draw today, because Crystal Palace are a serious team, and they proved that today. They actually proved that today. I know we were more clinical, but like, the scoreline flatters us because it wasn't as straightforward as a 3-0. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that we were able to take our chances and they weren't. But how often have we said that about ourselves? You know, we save 80% and still losing a game. That was the difference today. But there's something, there's a steepness there, Andy.
What are people's thoughts in the comments? The way we, because again we've mentioned it, we're not that expansive anymore, but. You know, as in, you know, from the flanks and stuff like that, apart from Doku. Doku's the only one. But even Doku's game's changed this season. We're more like, we're quick and direct now, which we've been crying out. I was talking like you then, Paddy. But we are more quick and direct now, and we're getting that ball to Haaland. And again, you know, the narrative today was, you know, and even from a striker who that knob who was on there, is it Charlie? Not Charlie. Whoever it was. Like, I won't be happy if I only had 9 touches. I'm sorry, but Haaland would do more in 9 touches than he did for most of his Premier League career. And there's that narrative again about mentioning. And Haaland, and by the way, I don't particularly like Gary Lineker or Shearer, although I used to love Shearer as a player, and Lineker because I'm that old. They did a really good interview with Erling Haaland. I don't know if you saw it. Really, really good. And I've seen it all over social media as well, you know, various platforms where there's not really anybody who hates Haaland because he's a really down-to-earth guy. And he was asked about little touches and stuff like that. And he says he's not bothered. You know, he was asked about tapping Merchant. He says, I laugh at it. You know, I thrive on it. He was asked about, you know, all the physical battles. And he's like, I love it. And you're not gonna be able to break somebody like Haaland. So all the comments and stuff like what goes around. Oh yeah, he's only had 9 touches. Well, I think he had 11 touches today and put 2 goals away. Now he's going away from there. He almost had the match ball until he got substituted. And that's another thing what we're doing. And again, we've spoken about it many times where we're having to burn Haaland out until 90 minutes every single game. We're not seeing that now because we know we've got players who can come in and they can do a job, as we've spoke about with Rodri.
Well, was that 102 goals for Haaland now in the Premiership, the quickest. I know
yes, mate. Yeah.
That's 102. But I think it was either Thierry Henry or Alan Shearer. I think it was when Haaland had won the Champions League, and he came over and he asked them advice. What would you do?
Yes.
After winning the Champions League. That's how humble Haaland actually is. And if you actually watch his YouTube channel and you see how he interacts on the outside world, outside of football, I know he was being for them going to the farm and all that kind of carry on. But he goes to the farm when the cameras are not there.
House captain, absolutely not. You don't know what we've got planned for the new year. And that's it. It just shows you how humble you're drinking raw milk. He's almost like some like ogre, isn't he? You know, but he's so humble as well. And that it comes across really well on his YouTube channel, as he does with any. He even put Carragher in his place after the Madrid game.
Yeah.
And when I think it was Carragher come up about, oh, would you come on a podcast? And was it that podcast with Roy Keane? He went, only if my father can come on.
Yeah.
And the guy is totally switched on. But yes, we are, and quite rightly so, we are building a team around him. But the team what we're developing now with your Cherkies, because I think it will be Bernardo's last season. But with the options what we've got now, and unbelievable. And we don't know what Pep's going to be bringing in, because I don't see Cherky being an out wide player where he's been sort of like filling in. He's going to be more pulling the strings, near Foden, because they seem to have got that. It's almost telepathic as well, because they're doing a little back flicks, like drag backs to them. They know exactly where they're playing. So once you've got a partnership like that, and you're almost telepathic, that bodes well.
Well, you see, you have 3 of them, right? There's 3 what you would call street ballers, and that's Doku, Cherky, and Foden. And this nonsense that they can't play together, like that's just another kind of unhelpful narrative being painted. They probably because they don't want them playing together, because like you can see the link up play between the 3 of them when they're playing. Like Doku has gone from being on the wing to almost playing like in the number 10.
Nearly did a joke then, mate, but I'm not.
or do you know that I've noticed actually, and this is where I think Pep has changed the most. Cherky can go anywhere in that pitch. Foden can go anywhere in that pitch. Doku can go anywhere in that pitch, where he feels that I can have more affect the game more. He has the freedom and the permission to swap sides. Like Cherky was on both sides of that pitch today. Like, where before you had one side of the pitch and that's where you stayed. You didn't move off that line. Where they're roaming now, where they never used to roam before.
Are they from Italy?
Yeah.
Romans.
They are. Caesars.
But it is right, mate, and it's got to be, and again, fair play to Doku, the way he's starting to play, because again, quite rightly what you're saying, he doesn't just go, because he was just like going to the byline, he's going to lose the ball. Now he's not going to whip a ball in all the time, a perfect ball or anything like that. But what he does do is he's starting to pick out his passes more now. If you like. like a Grealish where he used to sort of like stop. Look, you can see him looking more now, for that ball rather than just running headless chicken and
exactly what Pep said. Pep says he's not there to score goals. Forget about Doku scoring goals. He's not there to score goals. He's there to make the goals, and he does that very effectively. Where people think Doku should be scoring 20, 15, 20, 25 goals a season, he's not there. He's a winger. He's not a forward.
Mm-hmm.
And people get confused, and because their class is forward. Jack Reedy's forward. Jack Reedy wasn't a forward. He's a winger.
Yeah. But for Villa, he played Grealish seems to cut him more for Villa, to score them goals. And by the way, I'm really chuffed for Jack the way he's playing at Everton. Fair play to the lad because he needed that for himself. But on the right hand side, it's almost Matheus Nunes is just on his own on that right, and he's coping really, really well. With you have a little bit of that from Cherky or whether it's Bernardo, he's. And again, I know I want to keep talking about Nunes because he's had so much shit, from a lot of City fans, and it's really good to see him, getting the recognition. And by the way, he's a midfielder, so he's in the same boat really as Nico O'Reilly. But Nico O'Reilly, when he's had bad games, he's never been criticised really by. Well, I'm not aware of it by any City fans, and that's because he's young and he's one of our own. But he's still in the same boat. He's still in the same boat as Nunes because if anything, Nunes is older, so it's harder to learn stuff when you're older than it is, when you up and coming into a team.
And that's the thing with the academy, Andy. Them academy players, they're taught to play in 2 or 3 different positions. So Nick already playing left back, he's probably played there in the academy because they're made play different positions. They understand when you're playing, say, midfield, what you can expect off the left back or what you can expect off the right back or the centre back. They're made play 2 or 3 different positions.
Would you go with what Blue Art's saying there? Because I think that's what I was trying to say earlier. I don't think I don't think he was great, but we had control. Like normally when we have high percentage of possession and stuff like that, it's normally when we've been pinning teams back. But we're getting that percentage. I think today the first Haaland's goal, and by the way, a great cross in because that Haaland was so like being Haaland then. I think it was 25 passes before Haaland did that in today. Yeah. I did that in. And I think even Haaland's heading has got a hell of a lot better because I think, I don't know if it was 5, before he joined us, he'd only ever scored, I think it was 5 or 10 headed goals in his career. Now,
he used to kick it. He used to try and kick it.
Yeah, it's bread and butter to him now. It's so natural. And even his penalty today, mate, he did a different technique. He was instead of running, he actually, so the keeper didn't know which way he was going. So he's hitting him with more power as well now. But, and what's he on now? 102 Premier League goals
for a tapping merchant.
And again, he smiled at that, the tapping merchant, because I wouldn't mind 102 tappings because that tells me you've got a player who knows exactly where the onion bag is. And I also noticed, when was it against the other week, he was actually offside.
Yeah, he was.
Offside. I think it was the last show I was on, mate, where we spoke about that, didn't we? Like he's never offside. Yeah. And he actually said something like it was a shit pass from, was it Reinders or something? No, it was a shit pass to me. So he did, he jokingly deflected there, and that just shows you how intelligent he is for a big man. What's your thoughts on Donnarumma so far?
Do you know, he's starting... There's 2 criticisms, right? And these are constructive criticisms. Donnarumma, for some reason, when he first came, he was so sure of coming out and collecting that ball, corners, free kicks, all that kind of jazz. He's flapping quite a bit recently. I don't know why. I think that's a confidence thing, or maybe it's a mental thing. And the other thing I don't like about us at the moment, and it was evident again today, we play ourselves into trouble instead of booting the ball.
We've not spoke about this, have we? But they're my thoughts exactly. But my thoughts on Donnarumma, right, is, and it's not just totally down to Donnarumma this, I think he's going a little bit, when he first come in, we wasn't playing like we play, the fullbacks or centre backs there, and we wasn't passing it side by side. He was pretty much launching it, so like into halfway line-ish where Haaland was there, trying to head the ball. All of a sudden, from what I've seen the past couple of weeks, it might be more. Is we start? It doesn't look comfortable how we're playing at the back now. He's more comfortable launching the ball, and I think I do think it's affecting him a little bit. But is a huge asset. Like today, he come across with a couple of belting punches and stuff like that, and that's what people critical of Ederson for, want they? Flapping and not actually getting the ball, whereas most of the time Donnarumma is actually reaching it and getting the ball. Yeah,
like he's one booking away from missing a match, and I'd say the majority of them bookings have been for complaining.
Yes, I think he's one booking away from a suspension.
Yeah, he'd want to calm the gums.
Which is it's really, really unusual that for a keeper.
Yeah, but I think again, that's the determination. They succeed, they do well, and they show passion and aggression and commitment and stuff like that. But that has to be controlled, because if it's not controlled, you end up in trouble. Saying like if you're inside in a boxing ring and you lose the marbles, you can be the greatest boxer in the world, but if you lose your composure inside in the boxing ring, you're going to get chinned. He needs to learn, dial it back a bit. Even Pep's feedback about Foden today, he was in 6th gear where he needed to be in 1st.
Yeah. But I think the reason why Foden was a little bit today because the England manager was in the stands, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Tuchel eating his sweets. I think that's what affected Foden. But it just shows it wasn't his best game, mate. But how clinical was he with his goal?
Awesome stuff. When he gets in that area, if you watch him prior to the game, or if you're watching the inside city, the training stuff like that, the way he receives the ball on the half turn and strikes it with his left foot into that net, it's like a penalty. If he gets the ball there and there's nobody in front of him, you can be guaranteed 9 times out of 10 he's going to hit the back of that net. But the funny thing about him, Andy, is, and I was thinking about this today, when Bernardo Silva does go, Foden, the baby, is going to be a senior player in that team. Think about it.
No, it is. It's a good shout, mate. Even though he's a baby himself. And again, it's people always say that. Oh, Pep, he's always walked into teams. He's never had to do a rebuild. It's bullshit. He's actually rebuilt the squad what we've got now in the space of 6 months. When he brought coming up to January, 6 months when he brought Marmouche in and a few other players like that. And even we've not even seen Kusanov yet, getting back in there, because where can Kusanov fit in at the moment? And I think at the start of the season, he was before he got injured. I thought he was brilliant, but you couldn't. I think there's certain players in there now what are pretty much undroppable. Obviously Haaland. You'd have to say,
Turkey, Foden.
So people who come on, and by the way, I was pleased for Savinho today when he come on, because I had I had to delete it. I had a little cheeky tweet, mate. When it was something like 86 minutes. I put Pep wants Palace to get back in now in the 86th minute.
I've seen it.
Did you? I didn't name any names. I just thought, but straight away, boom. Now that's the Savio I want to see, because up until the past few weeks and stuff, like when he's come on, it looked half-assed. Now, if you want to succeed in that team, especially for Savio, who wants to get that World Cup place, when you come in, you've got to be mentally focused and you've got to do your thing, because otherwise you're not going to get minutes.
Pep come out there a couple of weeks ago and he gave him an absolute rollicking. He says, because he doesn't listen and he doesn't track back when he loses the ball. He said, but if you watch him now, when he loses the ball, he becomes a defender. He says, because my words are ringing in his ears. And that run he made today, Jesus. Like, I wish Henderson didn't bring him down because he was going around him to score.
Yeah.
But he's another guy that cuts in and he tries too hard and he skies it over the bar, he skies it wide, whatever. He needs to dial it back a bit as well. Just that little bit more composure in front of the goal. But he is a speed merchant. Like, I think, given half a chance, and people forget Savinho's he probably is the youngest player in that team. But he's probably around the same age as Nico already. People think he's older. He's not.
But people think Foden's old now. He's not. He's still pretty much baby terms. Haaland's still pretty much a baby. And now you got Cherky's only young. We've got Nico Gonzalez is only young. Doku's only. All of a sudden, Pep's half the age. You know, the average of that squad now is unbelievable. Donnarumma's not old. You know, I think was he
25?
Yeah, 25. I know he looks about 60. I know he looks older than me and you, but it just shows the way. Yeah, it just shows you the way we've rejuvenated the squad, and yet we was never going to win the league every year. You know, last year, and again we're seeing it with Liverpool. They won the league, and by the way, I've got to feel I'm sick of the narrative. It was horrific what happened to Diogo Jota. That's not why Liverpool is shit now.
No.
You know, so why is it not affecting Bernardo Silva? Why is it not affecting, you know, our other
Ruben
Portuguese?
Diaz.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz, his best mate. You know, it's sad what happened, but Liverpool just need to deal with it. You've lost the league. You actually look at that, the inherited Klopp's team, pretty much, and now they've got unrest. That's life. You know, we took it on the chin, you know, when we didn't win 5 in a row. You just got to take it on the chin and think, you know something, everybody wants to beat you. When you're the champions, everyone wants to beat you. And it just so happens more or less everyone is beating Liverpool. And just deal with it.
We won 6 out of 8.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
And to keep that going, unbelievable.
But see that you said earlier on, Andy, about Pep not building a team or rebuilding a team or going in and the established team in Bayern Munich and Barcelona and all that crack.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the players that left us during Pep's reign and tell me he hasn't built at least, this is probably his third rebuild now, to be honest with you.
It is, but he's been more, in the past, he's been more brutal, hasn't he? But this time he's just letting KDB go, you know, he's doing it right. And I think it was after, I forget which season it was now, where he didn't bring in enough players, he didn't replace players, and we suffered from it. Now he's learned from that. It's almost like, you know something, we have to keep like reinventing ourselves, and the way it's not just the players, it's the way we're playing style now. I forget who said it now. Somebody said in the comments, you know, don't mind mixing it up now because it you know, it keeps everybody second guessing, and it's almost like that. I think there was a period of time in the second half today where Gvardiol swapped with Diaz for some reason.
They did,
and then they swapped back up, and then they swapped back over. So we've also got a fresh pair of eyes now, or more than one pair of eyes on the bench with Kolo Touré, you know, with Pep Linders, with James French. So not only has he done a reshuffle of the squad, he's done it with his backroom team as well. And let's not forget, you know, the ones who departed the backroom staff, they was Pep's close friends as well. So he's almost been brutal, knowing that if he wants to succeed, he's got to change things a little bit.
If you think about it, we went from Nigel Dion, the Fernandinho, the Rodri, the now Nico Gonzalez.
And Nico Gonzalez, at the moment, is the lesser player, but he's still been effective because he's got people around him to support him, like we said earlier in the show, where we've got Bernardo dropping back a little bit now. But you've got Cherky's work rate as well. He's dropping back, you know, helping out and with his flicks and tricks and stuff like that. It all helps, because if it was just Nico G in the middle on his own, that'd be fair, and B, it simply wouldn't work. But we're playing different now, and we're getting the rewards for it, mate.
You see, there's competition in that team now, Andy. Like if you're not playing well, or you're not training well, well, you're not making the 11. So you have to be on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. And I like the way, and I know players probably don't like it, but I like the way he's not really mixing up that team much. It seems to be a settled team that he's playing week in, week out. Now, I know Bayern Leverkusen, he changed 10, Jesus Christ, but anyway, that was a brain fart.
But if it had worked, people would have gone,
genius.
He's a genius, yeah. But it goes like that sometimes. You know, it's almost like he was taking the piss out of the English media by doing them 10 changes. You know, including the keep. Normally, you never change a keeper, do you, like that? But
no,
he will have he'll always have the brain farts. But I don't mind. People need to understand and respect what Pep's done for us and what he'll continue to do, rather than be critical of him in certain games. Yeah, he has his moments. We all have our moments, but you know, it's going to be more good than it is bad. Whereas most football clubs, you know, they have more bad than good. So we need to be blessed and understand exactly what we've got, because it won't last forever.
But I think the three people that he's brought in, I know Colo Torre got promoted, and Pep Linders came in from with Klopp's blessing, apparently. That's Pep, because for me, Kevin Keegan never really did much as such. But you can see during a match that Colo Torre and Pep Linders are interacting with Pep, and they're keeping him accountable, and they're seeing the game a different way. And you can see that. You can see it in the team. You can actually see it in the team. And Pep is fresh. Pep, I'll tell you, if you listen to the press conference that Pep gives now, he's nasty towards the media. There's a bite in him.
Yeah, he's very sarcastic, innit? And it wouldn't surprise me if he deliberately, after the Real Madrid victory, that he didn't do the press conference and let Colo on purpose, just to take the piss out of the media, because it had probably been all surrounding the media, you know, the Madrid game and stuff like that. He probably thought, you know, something, I can't be asked for it. Here's a good one from House Captain, mate. Wonder how much business we'll do in January, ins and outs. That's a great question. Does he have to do anything in January? Could we afford to let a couple of players go, like Kovacic, for instance, who is supposed to be back in training, but he's not? Me personally, I wouldn't get rid of anybody this season. I won't, you know, in January, because you don't know what's round that corner after January. If you get an injury after January, then you snookered. So
I think, Captain, it'll depend how the Christmas period goes. Where we're looking after the Christmas period. If we're in contention, and again it goes back to availability, because unless there's a good player is having an absolute falling out with his club and who's available, yeah, they might go for someone, but I think it'll depend on where we're at the table and who's available, because I don't think we're silly enough to pass up an opportunity again. I seriously don't think. Well, they're on about your man, the Semenyo, is it, from Bournemouth?
Yeah, it's
like he's good.
He is, mate, but is he dare I say a big fish in a small pond? You know, how would he be? But he'd be more or less coming in for a Doku position. And does Doku need a bit of pressure on him, or would it set him back? Because I do think Semenyo can play down straight down the middle as well. But where would that leave your mate Matt Mimoose?
Yeah, but for he's 55 million.
I think he was asking something closer to 80, what the media was saying. But
well, no, the release clause is 55 in January.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
if I had my wish, to answer House Captain's question, if I had my wish, I'd sign Semenyo and the fella we played against today, Gay, at Crystal Palace, or Gehi, whatever you call him, the English international. him.
I was impressed with him today, the way he handled Haaland.
Yeah. I think if they're available, even in the summertime, I wouldn't want them going to Arsenal, Liverpool. Put it that way.
Do you want to know what I would do? And I was thinking this watching the match today, especially with Mark Gay. He's a free agent, isn't he, in the summer? I'd go to Palace in January, give you 50 million.
Yeah, but we won't be alone in doing that, Andy.
Let's get in there. Let's get that deal. Let's get that deal because he's very, very strong. I've watched a lot of him over the past couple of seasons, and he's very, very strong, mate. And he's quite an intelligent footballer as well. For a centre back, he can also drop it left back as well. I would,
he's going to have. Depends, if he hangs around to the next summer or whatever. But if he goes in January, he's going to have his pick of clubs. He's going to have Liverpool, Arsenal, City, United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. They're all going to be in for him. They're all.
That depends if Liverpool qualify for the Champions League, my friend. Would he want to go to? No disrespect to Liverpool, they're a huge club, but there's no guarantee because Villa are looking pretty tickety-boo, aren't they, at the minute? In third. So really, that is that fourth, possibly fifth, and I can see Liverpool losing a lot more games as the season goes on because even them bringing players in January. That's only going to be putting a plaster over stuff because I think there's a lot more deep rooted in there, especially with your Mo Salahs and stuff like that. So you're probably your best pick. Would he go to Arsenal? Yeah, he'd probably go to Arsenal if he's a London lad, nice and local. He wouldn't have to move. But you'd be thinking then, who would you want to work for? And I think Pep Guardiola would be the difference because, especially if you can see
you see. Because he'd want assurances that Pep's going to stay for an X number of years.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, when Haaland joined us, he didn't want assurances of Pep was staying because he could see what's happening. And I think in that interview, it was a case of, yeah, I can see what's happening here. That's why I've signed a new 9.5-year deal. And he won't sign a 9.5-year deal if he wasn't. He knows Pep's not going to be here for another 10 years. So sometimes a manager will influence it to get the players in, because if you could, Pep's a born winner, Arteta's not. If they get over that's different. If they get over the line this season, Arsenal, but I still back us to win the league. Maybe not by 10 points now, but I still back us to win the league. Now
I can't. Maybe this is just naivety in my behalf. But when you have somebody who's natured like Pep Guardiola, he's not going to sit at home. He'd have to be doing something. So he's done the whole Spanish thing, unless he goes back to Barcelona. It takes you a couple of years out and goes back to Barcelona.
No, he's always said he will never go back to Barcelona.
So he's done Barcelona, he's done Germany. So the only place really left for him is Italy. And does he really want to go and play in Italy? I don't think Pep Guardiola is ready to walk away from Man City.
I can see him going to manage an American club because he seems to like America, don't he?
No, I would disagree with you there because it's not competitive enough for him.
He does, yeah. I'll give you that one. It is, but why would he want to go to Italy? Because with the greatest respect, Italy's not a competitive unless he wants to. Unless he wants to go to Italy and say, it quite obviously win the league multiple times if he went to an Italian team. I think that's a given. I think what would be the driving force for him now? Could he go from taking a team to winning the league all the time in Serie A to going on and dominating in Europe? I think that would be the difference. That would be the challenge that would be the challenge for him.
He knows, right? And this has not been big-headed or whatever. He knows when he walks away from the Etihad campus, he is going downhill from there. It's as simple as that. And
you can, it's same can be said for players who leave us, because how many? And tell us in the comments here, because I might be talking bubbles. I don't mean Michael Jackson's monkey either. How many players have left City and they've gone on to bigger and better things? I can't think of one. In recent years, I don't mean forever, but in recent years.
Cole Palmer's not doing too bad at Chelsea, but he couldn't get in the team because of what was in front of him. But
he's not gone on to bigger and better things, really, has he?
Well, it's the team that he's in.
But he would, he has shone at Chelsea when he's played, but it seems like, if you listen to the media, that is, like there's unrest there with him there, and he wants to come back north and stuff like that. He seemed the other day as well, just riding about on a bike. I think he was on a mountain bike, just riding about, and people stopped him in a car, and he's like, all right, mate.
Yeah, but if he's coming back to North, where's he coming back to?
Would you take him back at City? Would you take him back though at City on the right? I would,
Well, I think he'd be stupid not to. Like if he was available and the conditions were right, but he's after signing a 7-year contract, is he?
Contracts are nothing, mate.
I know that, but the amount of money it's going to take to get him out of Chelsea if he did want to go.
But don't forget, we have got a buyback on him anyway. But listen, I don't think it'd happen. But the difference is, the question was, would you take him back? Not will he come back?
Oh, I would, yeah.
Because I still think we need an answer for the right-hand side. Because Chirk, as I said earlier, Chirk is not the answer, as good as he is. He is not a winger. Núñez is doing it on his own at the minute. We need... Savio is not the answer on... sorry, but Savio is not the answer unless he does something spectacular. I know he's only a kid and stuff like that. He's got to do something different. He doesn't seem like he's got that fire in his belly.
I'm going to reserve judgment on him until the end of the season because a lot of people were quick, and you included, actually, Mr. Savage, were quick to judge Mr. Doku.
Yeah,
and
well.
Now, when I was online today, fans having a meltdown because he wasn't playing was a big contrast compared to last year, say.
And the same could be said for Núñez. When Núñez is not starting now, people are, why is Núñez not starting? People didn't want Núñez to start. They'd rather have played with 10 men than Núñez play for us. And you're quite right. You're quite right about Doku, mate. But he's always had that bit of a fire in his belly, hasn't he? He's always had something. As we speak about, and when me and Elliot are talking, we always call him speedboat without a driver. He seemed more often than not now, he's got a driver for his speedboat because he's more composed. He will always, he's not going to, like we said earlier, he's not going to cross a ball in every single time, but he's more controlled now. Don't seem to have that on the right hand side. By all means, let's give Savio, the time he needs. But I don't think Savio's a starter at the minute, like Doku wasn't, because Doku's actually grown into that role now. And again,
I think that's because of Nico Riley.
Yeah.
Because Nico Riley's taking players away from Doku.
Yeah, and it's all about partnerships as well, because when Aki's playing left back, and by the way, I love Aki, I think he's been a brilliant signing for us. I think he is, like you said earlier, mate, he is sort of like when I say going through that's the wrong terminology, that going through. He seems like he's coming to the end of his City career, where we see it. And same with Stones. We're seeing it. So will Pep freshen that up in January, or will he freshen it up in the summer? Will he address that? I think if you get Gay, I think you've got to go for him in January, not sort of like be presumptuous that you're going to get him in the summer on a free transfer. Because I think we did the same. I think a few years ago we did the same with Dzeko, didn't we? He was going to be available. I'm sure he was going to be available on a free, but we went in January and we bought him in the January, to secure his signing. Now, would he go to Liverpool? I think Gay's this talk that he's already agreed to join Liverpool verbally. I think that's going to change because of the way Liverpool are now. It's all well and good agreeing to something while Liverpool was flying last season. They're not going to win the league this season.
No.
So, and they're not guaranteed. I'm not saying we're guaranteed top 4, by the way. We're guaranteed top 1. But there's more about us and Arsenal and possibly Chelsea and even Villa. You've got to put Villa in that thing. Not saying he'll go with Villa.
He's not going to Villa because Villa's a flash in the pan, because next season they could be fucking fighting relegation.
Shut up, Patrick. I've not finished. What I was going to say about Villa have not got the money either, whereas Arsenal have got the money, Chelsea have got the money, City have got the money. So what you have to do is you've got to take players like that. You've got to 100%. If they're available, you go because okay, people will say, what a waste of £50 million. That is when you could have got him in 6 months for nothing. No, it's like buying a £50 million player and having him for 10 years, like we've seen. How much we bought David Silva for, Doku, Aguero. Jesus Christ. Thought about Aguero and Doku in the same name. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, all these value for money over the period of time what we've had. We paid peanuts for him, didn't we? I think we paid 36 million. Yaya Toure is another one.
Haaland.
Like Haaland's another one. For what value for money? Forget you're paying £50 million for nothing, if you like. You go and get them players now because they will be value for money and they'll be instrumental in your future.
Well, I think, me personally, right? Nothing against John Stones, nothing against Nathan Aki. Absolutely two superstars and absolutely owe us nothing. And we're a very big part of our success. But both of them guys have crested the wave. They've crested the wave. They're going down the other side of it now. So like if they were say for argument's sake they were to go in January, right? That leaves you Kusanov, Nunes, Guardiola,
sounded like a police car then,
and Nico Ready. No, your man's out and on the Hayes.
Yes, by all accounts, he's doing very, very well over there as well.
He is. I'm following him. He's doing brilliant. A baller and can defend. So he'd be back. So you're going to have him and Husanov plus the 4 that are playing there. That's 6 if Stones and Aki did leave. And then I've left out Antonori as well. That's how good a job Nico Reddy's doing. He's not even he was a superstar when he came to us at the start. And Nico Reddy now he's keeping him out of that team. And not by accident. So I could see Stones and Aki leaving, and I could see Silva leaving definitely in the summer. But
there's a good one by DJ there. Luis Enrique stopped him managing PSG. It's difficult. It's a difficult one on Pep. And at the end of the day, there's only Pep who knows. But there was a comment before by DC, and I agree. He won't, when he does finish managing City, he won't just walk away. That's it. Good night. God bless. He will be he will still have some influence in what we do going forward, whether it's recruitment, that kind of stuff.
The reason why I don't think he'd go to PSG is there's too many egos there, and he doesn't do egos. Look what he did with Barcelona. He got rid of them. He did the same by Munich.
And one of them was Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
Even Toure's back out being a bit disrespectful, isn't it, to Pep as well? I don't know what Yaya Toure's beef is. Yaya Toure's beef is because of his own stupidity, not anything what anybody else has done.
Is he having a go at Pep? He is?
Yeah, calling him a snake and stuff like that. He's not a person, he's a snake. Yaya Toure just needs to wind his neck.
And his brother's sitting beside him.
Yeah, and not only that, he needs to wind his neck in, because that's why I will never call Yaya a great, absolute world-class player. I will never call him a legend. Never, ever, ever. Because of the way, he went about just Cakegate and his stupid agent having a go at City all the time for nonsensical stuff.
It was a circus. Yaya Toure was a circus. For the wrong reasons.
Blue Art says, got to agree with Paddy here, and Pep looks happy at sea, even more than I thought he would be after the latest transition. I think he's gained the taste for staying. Just a guess, though. Now, I'm unsure now. Is he back with his wife, or has he officially split up with his wife? He's back. Because I've seen something where they've split. I don't know if that's just the stupid UK media.
They had split.
No, I know they did split, and then they got back together. But unless I've got it wrong, that they've split again.
No, they haven't. No, he's back. They're back together. No, she's still in Spain, but they are back together.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it, mate. Rodrigo's an interesting one, to be fair, Steve, because he'd not scored, and I knew he was going to score against us because he always scores against us, and that's his first goal in 32, 33 matches.
Yeah.
Now, is that because he's not being played? But Rodrigo, that's something I would consider, that, to be fair, because he's got that turn of pace as well. I think him and our friend Nunes would work very well down that flank. Yeah. They seem to have that bit of turn of pace and that bit of flair like we have with Doku. We've got a turn of pace there. I think that would work, that,
But would he fit in the R system?
If he's any decent player, anything they'd fit into any system, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, like, in that dressing room, there's zero egos. Absolutely, it's not tolerated. You can see
How do you know he's got an ego?
Well, reading about it, watching what he's done and how he speaks, you don't see our players talking like that. That wouldn't be tolerated.
Could Nunes not be a right winger if we had another right back? I think
that's a good shot.
Yeah, I think Nunes is awesome.
That's a great shot, actually.
Is he awesome?
Awesome.
No, it is a great shout, that. But
absolutely. Who said that?
DJ Dreamer.
That's a first class shot.
I'm going to forward that to Pep.
Yeah.
No, it is. That's a decent shout, that.
Because it's the only partnership in that team that the Nico Ducko, Cherokee Foden, and the link-up play between them. The only one who doesn't have a support system is Nunes. And if Nunes was playing right side left midfield, I know you're going to have to drop Savinho for that, and you put a decent right back in there, like your man, what do you call him, from Newcastle, Livramento, that they were linked with. Oh man! Oh, absolutely.
But why not Kusanov at right back?
He's not a right back.
Neither's Nico O'Reilly. Neither is Nunes.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah, to be honest with you,
tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right.
No, you're 100% right. You're 1,000,000% right. I would not disagree with that, actually.
Because then you've got a defender who's always going to be a defender wherever he is, and I think that's why you see whether it's Gvardiol playing well when he's played left back for us, Ake, a defender is always going to be a defender. But the extra gear, then what they need is to go forward, and that's what we've seen with Nico O'Reilly, and we're seeing it with Nunes. So
I wonder why Pep hasn't trialed that, actually, even in training. Say Husanov, who's an absolute speed merchant, he's faster than Kyle Walker, and Nunes playing the right side, outside right. What do you call it? Right side of midfield.
Yeah, I think that'd work. That.
Yeah.
DJ Dreamer, you're not a dreamer. You're a genius, my friend.
You're absolutely you're on the money there, DJ Dreamer. Absolutely, 100%. Because that's the only kind of missing link or weak link you could say in that team, is that. And as you say, Andy, if you put Husanov at right back and put Nunes in front of him, holy God, that'll be tasty.
Blue Art says, always remember Aguero's debut against Swansea. At the end, I thought, wow, we got one there, if you know what I mean. Absolutely, because there was just something special about that. The way he just come on, because people was thinking, oh no, he's going to be too lightweight, as they did with David Silva, coming in the Premier League. And again, that just shows you good players are good players. You've got historically, there's been good players, whether there's been a bit of nastiness in them, like your Fernandinhos and players like that. Because Fernandinho wasn't the tallest. You De Jongs, and even we've had strikers like Aguero, because Aguero had a bit to him as well. He wasn't just like a flair player. Aguero had a bit of nastiness to him as well.
He hated your man when he called him SpongeBob there at Chelsea.
Yeah.
What you call your man SpongeBob at Chelsea? The two of them hated each other. He put him in over the Hordens one day.
Can't remember. Who's SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Did he have square pants?
No, no, the boy with the mad hair. He used to play for Chelsea.
Yeah, David
Luiz, was it?
Yeah, David Luiz, yeah.
Him and Aguero used to go at it hammer and tongs.
It wasn't SpongeBob. It's I don't know. It wasn't SpongeBob.
You're right, actually. Sideshow, fucking that mental case of The Simpsons.
You've agreed with me a lot tonight, and it's not even rehearsed, is it?
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob, that's it. Yeah.
I was close.
Close, but not good enough. Not close enough. Blue said, I agree. Andy Yaya was up there in the world class world, but his agent put a bad attitude candle on his birthday cake. And it disappoints me with Yaya, because he could have gone down as an absolute legend.
World class.
House captain is the first one I've seen. Awesome. Look how close Kathy was.
She has to get one, so.
Go on then. Message me, house captain and Kathy. Message me details, and you can have one of these babies' special editions. And it is actually better. The logo's better than that, isn't it, Paddy? You saw it earlier. It's proper.
I seen his laser pecker.
But that's another story. Sorry, mate.
That's for the after 9 show.
I thought he had me underpants on. Sorry, mate, when you saw that. Great win today. Great win today. Statement win. Nunes. Yeah.
It absolutely was. I'm telling you, it absolutely was. Like, I know we made it look easy with 3-0, but that was. Did you hear that climb the drum today at Crystal Palace? You didn't. That's how much in control we were in that game. And
not only that, the City fans were brilliant today as well. Yet again, mate, the City fans are always incredible. And again today, they was just like proper on it, and you couldn't really hear that. Yeah, see, there you go. DC is calling you Sideshow Bob. She's not reminding you. She's actually calling you Sideshow Bob.
So you can call it worse.
Yeah, so who've we got these? We've got Simo Sups, we've got Adam, and there's somebody else. Anybody? Who else was it?
Kathy.
Adams, Kathy, house captain. Message me. In fact, send. I've got something else, mate, for the show going forward. I'm really kicking it in now. I've got a special number to go on here so people can either phone in if they want, or they can message in.
Premium rate.
Yeah, it's all right. The future's bright, my friend. The future is sky blue. So yeah. Next match, Paddy, who is it?
Wet Spam.
And who is going to be there?
Me.
Well, the next league matches. Do we not play in the week? Do we not play in the
Brentford, actually. Brentford Wednesday night.
Come on, we've got to have predictions, haven't we?
I'm going 4-1.
Paddy's going 4-1. Who to?
Brentford.
I'm taking your first answer. I'm going to go. I think we're going to have a lot of changes in that match.
Absolutely. But Moose will play him before he heads away for the AFCON.
I thought they go away after today.
Are they gone already?
Could be wrong.
If they're not if him and Ant Nori are not gone, they'll play on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think there will be a number of changes. Trafford will most certainly come in. I think you'll see Kusanov. Stones is injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
You'll see Aki come in. Probably Oscar Bob.
Possibly. I don't think he'll go wholesale changes. It's a quarter final, isn't it?
Yeah, and Brentford have always, even though we beat Brentford, they always show us a lot of stuff, don't they? You know, they really go out.
They were going to go full strength. Like.
Yeah, they will. 1-1 today. They drew against Leeds. Yeah, I didn't really watch it. It was just believe it, and I was prepping for the show. So yeah, right. Paul, I'm going to go against Brentford. I'm going to go 3-2 to City. So wet spam.
Or 4-0.
So who? I have to ask you.
4-0 City, easily, if not more.
They went ahead twice today as well, and they still lost. Was it 4-2?
Was it 4-2?
I think so. I think Roger's got a couple. One of them was a belter as well, by the way.
I know.
So you're going 4-0.
4-0.
I'm going to go.
I'll be there.
I won't, because although the show's back, mate, I'm still not going.
You're still in the huff.
No, I'm quite comfortable with my decision, my friend. I'm going to go against 3-0. 3-0. And I'm going to leave it there for next week's show, because you know what's happening next week's show? We will be back then, won't we, my friend?
One
So
of us will be at the match.
Absolutely, Andrew. Club call is back. And you know something? It's always good to bring certain things back as well, isn't it? But yeah, again, thanks for it all, and again, all the support what we've received for the channel and stuff like that. That was a key factor in bringing it back and stuff like that. You know, it's what it is. We've got great plans, as I said earlier. For those who just joined us, we've got great plans. Got some really good guests coming up. And if any of you want to join us, you know, you're always more than welcome, because I will stick the thing up, the link. I will stick the link up every week. You know, so anybody, if they want to come on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, for the whole show, it's all about you guys. It's not about Waldorf and Statler here. Is it, mate?
That brings back memories, that club call. I'm laughing to myself. I actually rang that.
Did you? You sad man. Let's see some of the predictions here. DC's going 2-1 City, 3-1 Jack. Hello, Jack, my friend. Jack, we are getting you on one Sunday as well, mate. Good to catch up with you the other night as well. Low Fat's going 2-1. 4-0 at Wet Spam. Jack's going. Low Fat 3-0 versus West Ham. Yeah, so everyone's quite confident.
Oh yeah. The only danger against Wet Spam will be Bone, your guy who you like.
Who?
Jared Bone.
I do like Bone.
Yeah.
I do like.
Imagine him playing in front of Nunes. Ooh.
I honestly, but he would never leave West Ham now, because Danny Dyer's his father-in-law, and Danny Dyer would probably leather him if he ever left West Ham.
Yeah, Danny Dyer talks about him quite a lot. He says he never talks about football. He hates it. He doesn't even watch it.
Well, that's different. There's that clown, Ben White, who just absolutely hates football, you know, but he's earning a bloody good living out of it.
Yeah.
I tell you, it reminds me of that Ben White. Who does he remind you of? It does. It reminds me of Match out of Benidorm. Right. Thanks for joining us, mate. The future's bright. The future's very bright, my friend. Not as bright as the wall behind you. You know, that's very bright, mate.
But they missed the wall. You see that. There's no point in covering up the yellow wall.
Looks like Paddy's in the Dortmund end, doesn't it?
Dortmund ends.
Yeah. And again, thanks to everybody in the chat. It's always a pleasure. It's never a chore.
I get a big blue flag for you, will I? Put it here. Big Man City flag.
Yeah. It's like all the mugs there, mate.
I see the mug in front of me, all right, yeah.
Are you looking in the mirror?
No, I'm looking at you.
Yellow Submarine. Oh, thanks, DC. Yeah, thanks to everybody. And I mean, everybody. We are going to be bigger, better, stronger. And we'll even try and be funny, won't we, mate?
You think you're fucking Chris Eubanks, do you? Bigger, better, faster.
Mugs. Can't see Arteta on my screen. Right. Thank you to everybody who's joined us. I'm going to get myself some tea now it's not like me on a show or on a Sunday to have been a bit hungover. I was a bit rough this morning, mate. I didn't get home till about 5 o'clock this morning. So I've done without any food today, but I'm going to have something to eat now. I might even go to a chippy and have a chippy tea if they're still open. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Right. We shall do it again next week, mate. And we will back at the same time. Again, thanks to everybody who's joined us. We will do it again now. Oh, don't forget, anybody who's got the coasters, the bottle openers, send me a message and I'll get them out in the post here. And we will do that. Thank you very much, guys. We will do it all again next week. Bye-bye now.